Movie theaters across the nation had some empty seats over the weekend. Our resident film critic, Erik Childress, is here to explain. Good to see you, Erik. And what do you think happened?
Well, I mean, the studios can't really blame it on bad weather this weekend, and though they would like to not have to blame it on bad reviews, maybe that is exactly what happened this weekend, because New Year's Eve is one of the worst reviewed films of the year.
What do you think? Somebody's gonna have a happy new year.
Resolution number 2, be amazed. Are you amazed? Check.
And maybe, you know, people who went and saw Valentine's Day last year, which is, this is sort of kind of a follow-up to, you know, they didn't really like that movie too much, maybe, you know, on retrospect, and decide they're not going to be fooled twice by this gimmick, and they just said, forget it, I'm not going to go see this movie.
And I love Gary Marshall, who is...
You do.
you know, come on, Laverne and Shirley.
Yes, we're going back a ways. He probably hasn't made a good movie in about 2 decades, but that's okay.
But I often refer to these New Year's Eve and Valentine's as a poor man's Love Actually, which was awesome.
Yes, yes,
All right, let's take a look at the numbers here. So 13 million, and that was the best this movie could pull out, even though it came in at #1.
Yeah.
So that's nothing to sneeze at. Okay.
A little bit. I mean, it's the weakest 3-day weekend since The American last year with George Clooney, and that even turned into a 4-day weekend. So it was very, very weak #1 for this weekend.
And then The Sitter coming in at 9.8, The Twilight Saga definitely losing some steam here, finally.
Right.
And The Muppets, which you love.
Yes.
And Allocate.
Yeah, people should be seeing it. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, all right. And Arthur Christmas, which I hear is actually really good.
Yeah, people like that movie.
All right, and then coming up this weekend, what movie will be the strongest, do you think?
Well, we got 2 big releases coming out this weekend. We have the Sherlock Holmes sequel and a third Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. The Sherlock Holmes movie back a couple years ago opened to $62 million back then. And so I'm expecting that it's going to have a pretty big showing this weekend, even though the movie is kind of a cinematic chore and a pill to sit through.
I see your web of conspiracy has expanded.
And then you have the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, which these movies made $217 and $219 million when they came out in December over the last few years, opened to $44 and $48 million respectively. You know, I really hope that parents will not take their kids to see this movie. It'd be interesting to see, you know, if they do, because Happy Feet 2 didn't do very well. The Muppets is not really living up to the expectations. I really hope that this movie does not make the collective dollars that Happy Feet 2 and Muppets did, because it'll be really sad for America.
And Erik, coming up today, the Golden Globe nominees will be announced. Who do you think the front runners will be?
Well, we have the Screen Actors Guild just announced the other day, so, I mean, you're going to see names like George Clooney and Brad Pitt. You know, there's a couple names that were left off the SAG list. Albert Brooks for Drive as a supporting actor was not nominated. Charlize Theron for Young Adult, which is another great movie people should go see. These names are probably going to show up on the Globe's list, and I think are going to end up getting some Oscar nominations, but it's going to be a really interesting award season.
Anybody on your Oscar list?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, George Clooney for The Descendants. Brad Pitt, I think Moneyball gives one of the year's best performances. And this film, The Artist, the silent film that is really sort of turning into a front runner this year, I think is going to be a film to beat.
We will leave you with that tease. We'll have a special coming up for the Oscars later on. But as always, Erik Childress, Vice President of the Chicago Film Critics Association, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.